Thank you, Tom, and hello, everyone. Crikey, this is quite the scary speech I've ever given. I'm not just scared because I'm talking to this ridiculously long room of peers and industry greats, but I actually have very little idea what it is I'm about to talk about. Now, those who know me well will recognise this isn't anything new, but do bear with me on this one. First, a few words of thanks for Tom, not just on behalf of the IPA, but the whole advertising community. Tom has put important subjects at the heart of the debate, celebrating how this industry is a force for good commercially and for society, and above all, putting his powerful voice behind the diversity cause, which I support wholeheartedly. And Tom certainly has a powerful voice, doesn't he? He's a grown-up, he's tall, he's wise, he's experienced. He seems somehow naturally presidential. I, on the other hand, have a voice like Orville and can barely see over most of the podiums I've ever stood at. But I really am beyond thrilled to have been elected IPA president, and am so honoured to be standing here today. Really scared, but deeply honoured. Now, before I get to my agenda for the next 2 years, I'd like to touch upon how and why I got here. I never had any grand plan to one day take this role. I'm not a big joiner. I don't sit on endless committees or lead the neighbourhood watch. I'm far happier doing my bit at work and then taking myself off home to watch telly. But yeah, hooray for telly. But you know, advertising has been really good to me. It took me in when I had no other career in mind. It looked after me when I moved down from darkest Blackburn. I've made lifelong friends in the industry, and it even helped me meet my brilliant husband. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not standing here today because I feel I owe the industry a debt of gratitude. I'm here because I genuinely care about the advertising world, because it's been such a big part of my life. So I'm afraid for the next 2 years, you're all stuck with me doing my best for the industry I love. And these next 2 years are important. They're the first 2 years of the next century of the IPA. The recent centenary celebrations have been a brilliant reminder of the incredible impact advertising has made commercially and culturally on British life. So it's vital that I set the industry off on the journey of the next century with an agenda that reflects the inevitable path that adventure will take. Put simply, in the last 100 years, we all enjoyed laughing at the smash robots from the future. In the next 100 years, we'll be working with them. And it's up to the IPA to make sure that we're all ready for that. Now, when Tom was giving me his thoughts on how to develop my agenda, he said, "For goodness sake, Goldie, make sure you choose a subject you know really well and share your passion for it." Well, I've done the complete opposite. I'm sorry, Tom. I've chosen a subject I know very little about and am, in fact, rather intimidated by. But I've done so for a very good reason. I want to use myself as a test case for the success of my presidency. If after the next 2 years, I feel I've discovered a new confidence about the potential of automation in our industry, then I think others will have done so too. Put another way, I intend not to lead from the front, but to learn from the front about a subject that is just too important for our whole industry not to embrace. The machines are coming, and we are going to be ready. Now, being ready doesn't mean fighting for our right to exist versus the robots. I'm not trying to build a wall against a Terminator-style Judgment Day. But equally, I don't think as creative industries we're immune because creativity cannot be reduced to an algorithm. In fact, McKinsey have recently pronounced that robots are now capable of accomplishing many cognitive activities, such as making judgments and sensing emotion. I mean, that's more than many humans I know. So, to be clear, we are not all doomed to be replaced by robots, but neither are we too creative to be left alone. Instead, we need to see the opportunities to grow alongside our new automated colleagues and embrace the new tools to be even better at what we do. For example, virtual reality will change the way we tell stories, moving from single-thread narratives to immersive, multi-plot adventures, and this is high on our clients' agendas. In a recent survey by Oracle, 80% of marketeers expect to provide customer experiences through virtual reality in the next 3 years. Then there's augmented reality that gives us the opportunity to add our brand's digital footprints to the real world around us, bringing bricks and clicks together like never before. Now, both of these are currently in their infancy. Pokemon Go has given AR its first big platform, while VR's is yet to come. But we all know that these two technologies have created opportunities that will be huge for advertisers, creatives, media planners, UX designers, and content creators. And it's up to us to turn these emerging technologies into the new tools of our trade. And it's up to the IPA to help us all do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the theme for my agenda is simple: the magic and the machines. In February of this year, Bill Gates said, "It's really bad if people have more fear about what innovation is going to do than they have enthusiasm. That means they won't shape it for the positive things it can do." I would like my presidency to help create a new enthusiasm for what machines can do for member agencies. And that starts with how we can harness them to help us create magic. And let's be clear, what we make is often thoroughly magical, isn't it? Joseph Schumpeter, the acclaimed economist, talked of the alchemy of advertising, the ability to turn base metals into gold, or in his example, confound economic theory by creating demand where there should be none. Too often, we are so caught up in new models, new entrants, and new payment terms, we forget the magical things our industry can do. We can change beliefs, behaviours, and businesses. We can create crazes, challenge conventions, and empower causes. We can sell more boxes and save more lives than virtually any other industry on this planet. We have magic powers. We are all magicians, and the machines represent a new box of tricks for us to use. Just think what we might be able to learn from Emmy. Who's Emmy? Well, she's a computer program who can compose 5,000 pieces of original music in the one morning. What might we all learn from Albert? And who is this Albert? Albert is the AI platform that lingerie retailer Cosabella is using to revolutionise their search and social marketing, and who is more than tripling their ROI. And what can we all learn from Samuel? And again, who is this Samuel, I hear you cry? Well, he's just a bloke at M&C Saatchi. But he's a bloke who's led their team in pioneering AI-driven outdoor advertising. So far, these are early experiments, but they're exciting and they're meaningful. I want the IPA to encourage more experimentation among our member agencies. To this end, I want to create a new platform for education, collaboration, and inspiration, and that will be called IPAI. You see what I did there? IPAI. At the heart of the IPAI initiative will be the IPAI Applied Training Programme. Available and accessible to everyone, this will cover topics including the history and hype around artificial intelligence, where it's heading for the marketing and advertising industries, and how to navigate the tools and APIs available to the technical teams at agencies. These will be intensive modules that will open up the whole subject for many of us. To help inspire our members further, we'll be launching our very own South by Southwest 1. We'll be bringing the most relevant thinkers to present their ideas to us here in London. I'm particularly delighted that among them will be Yuval Noah Harari, author of Sapiens and Homo Deus, who sees a future where we all adopt a universal faith in the power of algorithms. But as well as bringing the most inspirational minds to Belgrave Square, we'll be taking our industry's achievements out to the world, emphasising the importance of the creative tech sector in the same way that fintech and health tech are already well established. To achieve this, we'll be working with Nesta to come up with a definition and quantification of the value of creative tech, and working with the government to promote UK creative technologies to the world. We'll be playing a key part of London Tech Week, where we'll have a whole day dedicated to creative tech, and I'll chair our industry panel. I want the IPAI initiative to last well beyond my tenure, and to be a constant champion of the power of our industry to make magic with the machines. The second point on my agenda is all about the numbers. I want more members to be more comfortable with the numbers of marketing and advertising, seeing them as a real source of meaningful inspiration. I call this section of actions and initiatives Magic with Numbers. While many marketeers see data as a source of real transformation for their industry, too many in ours view it with suspicion. But I want to end the fear. I want to shine a bright light on how the best uses of data can be creatively inspiring, culturally disruptive, and commercially impactful. Magical, in fact. For example, data won for Farage, Johnson, and Trump. The brains behind these election surprises found new ways to use data to drive an individual's emotions, not just trigger a short-term action. Imagine those skills harnessed by advertisers and their agencies. Well, that's exactly the type of magic I want to help us achieve. To this end, we will start by running a number of events through the 44 Club to engage our younger members with this new reality. We'll be publishing 2 new think pieces from Les Binet and Peter Field, starting with buying behaviour in the digital world. These are being produced in partnership with Google, so will reach a wide audience. It remains a key priority of the IPA to build an effectiveness culture in member agencies. To achieve this, we need to gain a more coherent understanding of how different marketing approaches measure performance in the short and long term, because it's pretty hard to make magic if you don't know how the trick is meant to work. So I'm asking that the next President's Prize at the 2018 IPA Effectiveness Awards goes to the paper that most clearly demonstrates the most effective use of data. And I'll also be opening this year's F Week in October, which will have a particular focus on how to make sense of all the data that's now available to us. But as well as gaining a better understanding of how data can contribute to making magic, it's imperative that our members understand the rules around its usage. Therefore, we'll be ensuring that all members are fully up to speed with the new data protection regulations coming into force from May 2018. A series of IPA webinars are being organised throughout the coming year, starting right now. But as I talk about data, I must acknowledge there is the dark side that threatens our industry commercially and reputationally. A dark side that the IPA has to help protect us from. So my third and final set of initiatives is focused on monitoring the machines. The advertising industry will be profoundly damaged if we're associated with the improper use of our clients' money. A study by the group I work for estimates that 20% of the total $32 billion spent on digital video and display advertising is being spent fraudulently. If a restaurant failed to bring you 20% of the food you ordered, you wouldn't rush back in a hurry, now would you? I applaud the initiative taken by Mark Pritchard at P&G to push technology brands to open up to independent ad verification, and I'll be adding the voice of the IPA to these requests, as we are already working to produce a best practice guide on online measurement. I'm also encouraged by some of the efforts taken by Google to address the brand safety issues that plagued it in recent weeks, particularly their agreement to work with outside companies to verify where ads appear on YouTube. I'll be interested to see how that plays out, and I am determined that the IPA leads the industry in demanding solutions. The UK is arguably the most advanced large-scale digital market in the world. Over half of our ad spend goes online, supporting some of the highest levels of e-commerce. That's why I call upon our partners at ISBA, the IAB, and the largest tech companies to come together with the IPA to redouble our efforts to clean up the digital media frontier. So to close, I want to go back to the essence of my agenda. The machines are coming, and we are going to use them to make magic like we've never done before. Magic that will make our creative work more compelling, our targeting more relevant, and our storytelling more engaging. Automation will change our working lives at every level in our industry. Before we know it, the machines will be doing the competitive reviews, the legal checks, the contact reports, the image searches, and myriad other daily activities that are part of agency life. And that will free us all to give more time to the creation of brilliant ideas, many of which will be brought to life using emerging technologies. But only, ladies and gentlemen, if we embrace the machines, enjoy the machines, and trust the machines. And that's what my agenda is focused on achieving. The magic and the machines, delivered through a fresh and unique, inspirational and educational platform in IPAI. The magic and the machines, encouraging us all to embrace data as a source of new creativity and more insightful targeting. And the magic and the machines, ensuring the robots don't go rogue and damage the industry the IPA serves. Now, I acknowledge that automation isn't going to happen overnight. McKinsey suggests that by 2055, around half of today's daily work activities will be automated. But I'm setting the IPA on course for the next 100 years, not just the next 2. I want this to feel like a new era for the IPA, which for most of my career has been focused on addressing weaknesses of ability, diversity, and corporate standing. But I want to take the IPA up a level, to look forwards, not just inwards. The Advertising Association has shown that the export of advertising services is worth £4.1 billion to the UK economy. And the creative industries has been selected as one of 5 key pillars in the government's post-Brexit strategy. So I am determined that we be in amongst it with all the other leading industries debating the topics that matter to us all, not just the specific issues in our category. So the IPA will be more challenging and championing, more future-facing and inspiring, bolder and braver. Because the machines will change many things, but not the dedication of all of our members to the business and brilliance of advertising. The machines will be our new colleagues, and they will be the smartest, fastest, most incredible colleagues any of us has ever had. And I can't wait to start making magic with them. I truly hope that everyone here today and everyone back at the agencies you all represent will join me in writing this challenging but exciting first chapter of the next 100 years of the IPA story. Thank you.